you who haven't tried or looked at a video before, and welcome to everyone who has been on the mat with me but is still interested in what we have to say, because today's class is a bit of a beginner's introduction to equipment. So no movement or actually doing yoga, just a quick discussion, and to try and enforce the fact that no matter how experienced you are at yoga or Pilates or anything else that involves body movement, using props is actually quite a useful thing to do. I'm going to apologise just for the noise. It is still very warm here today. Maybe it's winter when you sit and watch this, but it's actually in the middle of a heat wave, and so I've got all the windows open and quite a noisy road outside, so I apologise for the background noise. So we're looking at equipment, and obviously the first thing you're going to need is your mat, and they come in different thicknesses. Pilates tend to have the thick, quite spongy mats. Yoga tends to be something a little bit thinner. But it doesn't matter what you choose, you just need to make sure you can get a good grip on it, that your hands and feet aren't going to slide, and that it's safe and feels comfortable for your body. You can spend £100 or you can spend £10, but as long as it suits you, that's all that matters. The one thing I will say, the spongier and the thicker the mat are, the harder it is to balance. So top tip, if you struggle with balance, is to step off your mat onto a harder floor. If you've got a spongy mat and carpet, double whammy, you might want to step off and just step onto the carpet instead. Of course, if you do struggle with balance, use a table, use a wall, whatever's around you that is secure to help until you start to feel a little bit more confident. So the other thing you might see or be told to use is a block. Now these are hard cork blocks, which can be a little bit uncomfortable to sit on for a long period of time, but they are really good at feeling supportive. So quite often you'll be told by an instructor to sit on a block to help with breathing, so that you can get your posture to help with breathing, maybe because you've got some back pain or it feels tight in the hips. If you haven't got a block, a cushion or a big thick book will also help, and that just helps to elevate your hips. You can roll a cushion up and make it the right height for you. You could use another yoga mat, you could use a rolled up blanket, a towel. For sitting on, that's what it's there for. It's just to help you gain a better position with your spine, with your lungs, your shoulders to breathe, and to release any issues you might have in the lower back and hips. It can also make a big difference when you come into a fold. So it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing. If you maybe have had an injury or a bit of a problem and you're finding you're stiff here or around the hips, don't be afraid to grab something for support. It will help you get that bit deeper into your pose. And that's what all these props are about. It's about helping you to get deeper, get more ease and accessibility into the pose. It's not a cop-out. The other thing we can use a block or a box, anything that you have around you that feels secure and stable for you to lean on, is bring the floor up to you. So we can be in this kind of lunge position. Maybe we're finding it a bit tricky to get the hands to the floor. It might be a suggestion, your teacher or an instructor online might say to you, grab a block or whatever you've got somewhere similar to put your hands on. And this can make a big difference. Again, it helps you to find a better alignment, better posture or alignment, and just feel a little bit more comfortable. If you are struggling to get down to the floor and you can't, and that's stopping you from being able to breathe, lift up, use a block, and that can be a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so that is one option. Another one is for a balance, and there are certain balances we do where we need to bring the hands to the floor. Again, so for example, in a half moon balance, you could use that block rather than reach the fingers to the floor. One of the things we do with our half moon balance is we're trying to straighten through the leg and bring the fingers to the mat, which could perhaps help open out through the back of the leg. Now, if you can't touch the floor and you are bending your knee, you lose the energy, perhaps the line of energy, or that feeling of opening through the back of the leg. Maybe you feel you can get a deeper pose by actually bringing the floor to you. Don't be afraid to use them. Don't feel that you look like you're copping out, that it makes life easy for you. It doesn't. Sometimes actually using these props will allow you to work that little bit deeper and that little bit harder. So if you haven't got a block, a book, a box, cushion, rolled up blanket, these will all help and do the same things for you. So another one, of course, is our strap. This helps our limbs to be a bit longer. So if a block is about bringing the floor upwards, a strap is about making us longer. So a classic one, of course, is putting it around the feet to help you get into a fold position or a bending position. So if you are one of those people, and we've all done it, I've certainly done it, I used to do it round to reach forwards. So you bring your shoulders forwards. Again, we lose the work somewhere in the body. Sit up a bit taller, hold on, pull forwards, and then suddenly that strap, I might not have gone as far, I might not be touching my feet, but I get a much bigger sensation in the back of my legs. The other thing is you can use it to pull yourself a little bit deeper. So even if you've got quite a lot of movement in a pose already, by actually using it to pull you forwards, it can help you get further. So one of them is for a fold. Another one is if we're working in any kind of bind. So quite often involved with a twist. Think, which way do I need to go here? So twist where you are wrapping, say, one hand in underneath, and the other one's going to come around behind so that you can find your hands. If you pop your strap, you can hold one side and hold the other. And again, wriggle the fingers in towards each other, and that can help you get a little bit deeper. A favourite one that a lot of people in my classes like to use a strap for is the tricep stretch, or a cow face arm position. And here, where we open up and stretch through the upper arm and the shoulder, and then again you can work on wriggling your fingers there. So using a strap isn't going to make life easier, it can help you make life harder and deeper. So that's our strap. I don't think I might be able to see you more, that's the problem. Okay, keep popping in and out. So one more item that we're going to have, actually I've got a couple more. Another item that can be quite nice to have in a class or for your own practice is the bolster. Quite a big item. It's a nice thing. Again, you can need to sit on to help you get a little bit of posture and into your back, or to help release the hips. Or you can use it for support in a more of a restorative yoga practice to help open out through the body. And this is something that quite often, if you're in a class where you're holding poses for longer, where you want to open out through the body, you can use it for support and for the body to mold over. But of course, you don't need to use a bolster You can use that cushion, you can wind that up. If you've got a nice big blanket, you can roll the big blanket or a big towel up. So you don't always need the fancy yoga or Pilates props. You can fashion and make your own. So these are some of the traditional ones: blocks, bolsters and straps that have been around for a while to help people get there. And there are also a lot of other things now that have come out just to make life a little bit more comfortable. And a big one is a cushion or a little bit of support to go underneath things like your head if you're doing a headstand, but they're also quite good for maybe under hands and wrists and fists if you like to work on your fists, or coming in underneath your knees. For knees, they do actually, you can get one that goes all the way across your yoga mat. Bit of noise again with the lorry. Your yoga mat. And if you ask, if you're someone who has a few knee issues, it's amazing how having that little bit of extra padding underneath the knees can make a big difference. If you are going to use two individual ones, it's important that you keep yourself balanced and keep even if you've got one slightly, one knee that likes the cushion and the other one is fine, use one underneath both, because as soon as you take one away, you are changing the height of the floor from one side to the other, and that can not put your back in a great position. I've learned that the hard way. I had a knee injury, I needed to cushion one side, I didn't think about the other, and then started to wonder why my back was a little bit tweaky. And I've been teaching a lot of classes, and hence I was spending a lot of time with my back and my knees in that position. Okay, so that's just a little whistle-stop tour of the different things that are around that you can use when you're starting out with your practice to help you get deeper and more effective alignment and posture in your exercise and your poses. Don't be afraid to use them, and if your teacher asks you to use one or suggests that you use one, listen and take that advice on board, because you might find it changes your practice, and something that might take you months to get your head around and for your body to feel like it's getting better in, suddenly becomes easier, and you get a lot deeper a lot quicker because you're working more effectively in your body. And even if you're a practitioner who's been working for a long time, don't be afraid to explore how props and these supports can help you get deeper into your practice as well. It doesn't just have to be for a beginner. They are something that can help anyone at any stage in their journey through their practice. Okay, so that is all for now. If you have any questions, leave them below and I will do my best to get back to you to give a little bit clearer explanation. But my advice is definitely go out there and try and explore on your own. Who knows what you might find. All right, okay, take care now. Give a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel to stay up to date, and you'll know when to join us for another day for a more active session. Okay, take care now. Bye.